Sony doesn't make money when you buy a PlayStation 5. They make money because you already bought it. On launch day, every single console shipped was a planned loss. They sold it at a deep deficit on purpose. It's the business model of an aging mob boss who used to rule the streets of innovation, but now just wants to collect easy protection money. Sell the door cheap, install a 30% turnstile on the other side. Welcome to Sony's private tax district. The old mob boss doesn't need to reinvent the world anymore. He doesn't even need to make great games. He just needs you to keep coming back. Once the console turns on, he owns the gate. Every time a developer sells a virtual sword, a digital outfit, or a battle pass, the old mob boss takes a cut. He didn't write the code, he doesn't host the matches, but he takes the cash anyway, which for the record is a fantastic way to get rich. The terminal trap. Imagine paying $500 for a VIP ticket to the most exclusive nightclub in town, only to realize the venue doesn't actually own any of the bars inside. The old mob boss spends billions building the neon and hiring the bouncers just to pack the room. But once you're past the velvet rope, the open market stops existing. Every independent bartender on the floor has to hand over 30% of the price of every single drink just to stand there. Try to bring your own bottle through the back door by sideloading a cheaper store. You get kicked out, your account is erased, and your console becomes an expensive paperweight. All your save files are gone. You sit on the couch with a controller in your hand, thinking you're a gamer. You're not. You are just a permanent customer inside a closed cash register. The High-Paid Landlord. 20 years ago, this aging mob boss was an engineering monster that gave the world the Walkman and championed independent developers to destroy Sega. Today, he has become the exact monster he used to hunt.
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy this Sith, not join them!
He is just a highly paid landlord. The real engine behind PlayStation isn't the beautiful cinematic masterpieces you see in trailers. It's the silent tariff on products he didn't even build. When a player buys V-Bucks in Fortnite or digital cards in EA Sports FC, his bank account grows instantly. The strategy is simple. Let other studios gamble hundreds of millions, trying to guess what teenagers want next. Then sit at the gate and collect rent from the survivors. The ultimate irony? He once screamed the loudest against Microsoft's closed ecosystems. Today, his own fortress makes Xbox look like an open paradise. PlayStation Plus, the genius tax. Sony pulled off something that should have been impossible. You bought the console. You bought the game. You paid for Wi-Fi. And then they told you, if you want to play online, that'll be another $80 a year. And millions of people said yes. It's like buying a car, gas, insurance, and a driver's license. And then the guy who owns the road says, to actually drive on it, you gotta pay me every month. And you pay, everyone pays, and nobody even blinks anymore. PlayStation Plus isn't a subscription anymore. It's a utility bill. Don't pay it, and parts of your own console just stop working. Classic recurring revenue. Sony keeps making money every month, even when they don't release anything new. Digital games, the perfect scam. Back in the day, you bought a disc. It was yours. You could sell it, trade it, or buy it used for half the price. Now you buy a file. Basically permission to run the game on Sony's servers. The price is still $70, but their costs are almost zero. No discs, no stores, no used market. It's like a restaurant firing all the waiters, throwing out the furniture, closing the kitchen, and still charging you full price for the steak. Every single sale now goes straight through Sony's cash register. Forever. The used game market is dead. Sony gets their 30% cut every single time someone buys the game again. The perfect player for Sony. Sony doesn't want the guy who finishes 15 games a year and moves on. They want the guy who lives in Fortnite 8 to 10 hours a day, buys skins, battle passes, and keeps the subscription all year round. That guy is pure gold. He spends constantly. He brings his friends. He never leaves. That's why games aren't made to be finished anymore. They're made so you can't put them down. Battle passes, daily rewards, FOMO, seasons. None of it is really about fun. It's about keeping you paying. $70 is no longer enough. Here's the funniest part. Games now cost insane money. $200 to $300 million per project. One flop can kill an entire studio. So the whole industry went full casino mode. Deluxe editions, early access, cosmetics, subscriptions, microtransactions. A regular game sale is no longer considered real profit. They need you to keep paying after you bought the game. Again, and again, and again. Steam, PlayStation's worst nightmare. Then Steam shows up. Free online, massive discounts. Old games don't disappear every 7 years. And suddenly the player asks the dangerous question, wait, why do I even need that box under my TV? That's exactly why Sony is desperately crawling onto PC, not out of kindness. They just don't like leaving money on the table. What Sony is really selling? Not the console, not the games. They're selling the habit of opening their app every evening and leaving your time and money there. The console is just the entry ticket. The real business is making sure you never want to leave. This is Broke Genius. See you in the next one.